G'day, Ninja. We've got Elliot on the table here. Today we're going to work down Elliot's lateral line of his leg, so IT band. We might get to here, we'll see how we go. But I'll let Elliot talk about why did you want to have some work done here, man?
I think upper body, lower body. My upper body is really well coordinated compared to the lower body there, and like I feel like the tissues in my upper body always feel quite supple and strong.
Yep.
So a lot of sports and stuff I do, upper body's pretty good. Even the work that we do here, I can feel very comfortable using my hands.
Yep.
The legs on the other hand, they're like, I just feel like they're quite underdeveloped in that sense. Yeah, I do a bit of leg day here and there, but not enough, I guess. But I've always felt like the tissues into like, especially my lateral thigh there, when I work on other clients, feel quite different. So when I work on a client, I push into this area there, it feels like how my upper body would feel in terms of like the suppleness. But down there it just feels like, yeah, stiff, dry, not really getting much activity. So yeah, what do you reckon, Minge?
Yeah, I can feel already, man, like confirming what you're saying, it does feel really kind of dense. So I'm just sort of doing a bit of a warm-up stroke, bit of a navigation, exploration, kind of seeing what I can feel and where what lines I'd like to go down. And I actually had some work done on my IT today, so I know what it feels like, and it can be really therapeutic. And what I was saying in that video as well was like, you don't always necessarily have to have pain to kind of, need to explore things. Like getting treatment like this can be magic kind of for your awareness and prevent future injuries, but sometimes you got things locked inside your body and you just don't realize that you don't have the function and the mobility that perhaps you could be experiencing. And once you kind of get up off the table, and like for me, having my hip flexors worked in here, I never feel any pain or any restriction or anything through there, but when I have that work done, I really notice a difference. So just encourage people to get body work, but get good body work, get good connection with your practitioner, and you can really have a lot healthier existence. So it's body work, good body work is gold. It's priceless. So how you feeling? I can feel a bit there.
Yeah, that whole line's real good, like in terms of what you're doing there. Just made me think as well, like how, because of how stiff this region feels to me, how much I don't naturally like to use it, or I only use it in like a very simple way compared to say my lower leg. I feel like it's a bit more developed. So I think you've once mentioned like you could see like a lot more strands in my calf here and how developed they look. But if I were to refer that back to like my upper leg, it's like night and day to me. So it's like my body, just like when I'm walking and when I'm running, I'm just using this lower leg here. Just all that. This is quite underused.
Coming for the ride, is it?
Yeah, just going along for the ride there. So it's just sitting underdeveloped. That's just must be how I develop, how I grew up.
It's something about leg definition. It's sort of like not a real common thing, like in today's society. A lot of people are carrying a bit extra weight and things, or just all the people in the gym are concentrating on upper body. But good leg development it's priceless. I reckon it's really attractive. I really like it.
Well, because like in modern day as well, we do a lot with our hands, right? But like, what do we do with our legs? They just walk from A to B, sit, stand, lie down. And that's like the majority of our tasks. Unless you're really like spending a lot of time on the floor or doing certain sports where you kind of move your legs in all sorts of different ways. So
we're not squatting, are we? Not utilising the legs like we used to before we had chairs everywhere. Seated society, comfort culture really been, sit in the morning, go drive. A lot of people drive a lot, So desk work, things like that. So even people that work from home now, they're on their laptops, they're sitting down doing that. So they're not getting those squats done. They're not out there doing it anymore, not in the garden, not chopping the wood, all that kind of stuff that we would have done traditionally and were designed to be able to do. Not climbing trees.
That posture does take up a lot of people's time in their day to day.
Yeah.
Sitting, arms forward, You know, hip flexors kinked in, hamstrings contracted. So that's a. And then when you're seated as well, you're compressing that lower body. You're compressing your pelvis into the chair there. And so you think about the fluid and blood flow that's meant to go down your leg and back up again. When you sit squeezing it off, it's just like a tourniquet, yeah? It's just like choking it off for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And like, slightly off topic, but I've always thought about when people are sedentary and how their blood pressure increases and the doc has to give them a pill to lower their blood pressure. That's your body's way of adjusting. Hey, so just sitting still for a long time, blood still needs to get to some places.
Yeah.
And if you're not moving and pumping that, body's just trying to figure out a way to get that to other places. And maybe that's part of why the blood pressure goes up. Trying to squeeze and get to other places there.
Yeah.
So I think they're linking that with heart disease and they're trying to get that number down. That's actually your body's way of trying to fix itself.
Trying to tell you to get walking.
Yeah.
So I know that like your calves are like another pump, like to pump the blood back up to the heart, the upper body, you know, so it's a long way down from the heart, so it's against gravity. So if you're just sitting around, just standing around all the time and you're not walking, you're not stimulating the body like it should be to get the pumps going. So yeah, it's important to get your steps in.
Oh.
So yeah, I kind of chose this line here to kind of, so I could go under, pull under, and there's like a money spot under there.
Yeah.
You can hook in under it and get it to work. So yeah, it's a really important part of the body, the tibial band, kind of next to the TFL, tensorfascial latae. Did I get that right?
Yeah, got it.
And the glute max. So it kind of holds the whole leg together. And the thing to remember too, it crosses the knee. So yeah, when you're doing these kind of strokes, you want to go down to the knee and over to kind of get the whole thing to be hydrated again. So how you going, man? How's it feel? Can you describe how this feels right now?
Yeah, it's sort of like a deep but kind of achy feeling that kind of radiates through. And as Ninja's like putting pressure through there, I can feel like the sort of like the layers that are right over the bone there start to slide and move apart. Yeah, I guess like for me, because it's quite like dry and like stiff through there, it's like something that's quite clenched. So as he's releasing through there, like I feel like blood flow or fluids kind of rushing back in through there. So there's that kind of relieving feeling. You just don't realize you felt. It's not painful. I don't like walk around and say, oh, my ITBs are in pain. But obviously it's like stiff. So this is like a relieving feeling.
Yeah.
Actually, I did have an injury to, I think it was my left ITB when I was in South America about 2016. One of the treks that I did, one day it was like 5 hours of just straight downhill walking. And so, yeah, it's a lot of hiking and then just downhill for 5 hours straight. And then that night, my knee was quite inflamed. And it was still like, still had two and a half more days to go. And so that next day, I couldn't bend my knee. Like if my leg was dead straight, it was fine. But as soon as I bent my knee, it was like severe pain in that ITB.
Yep.
So I had to walk with a dead straight leg for 2 days.
Pig leg.
Oh,
hard.
And people were just like, oh, you treat people with these problems. What would you tell them? I was like, I tell them to stop walking.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have a choice. To get the vehicle out.
Pretty much. And so my right leg was carrying me for like another 2 days.
Hopping around.
Yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, you're an adventurer. Like I kind of love talking to Elliot. He talks to me about his skydiving, his base jumping mates, and you're doing some washing buildings and things like that. Like what do you call that?
Rope access.
Rope access.
Yeah, just started doing it a couple of months ago and working with a good crew of dudes. Just basically like abseiling down off buildings and doing maintenance work to the outside of buildings there.
Yeah.
I'm still beginner, like barely know anything, so I'm just trying to not mess up the job. But it's really good, you know. You actually like see how buildings are being made and how little faults there, if we don't give them attention, they can become bigger faults over time.
Yeah. I kind of watch some of Elliot's stories and I'm just going, no way. I think I comment that back to you sometimes. Oh, this is bullshit. What are you doing? You're risking your life just to clean the outside of a bloody building. No, I'm just scared of heights. So you might know, I kind of like my body just goes to water when I'm at height. So I've got this, I get petrified and I've got to go to the ground. So even if I'm on a balcony or whatever, I can't go over the edge and look over. I've got to just, I go down, crawling, even lying I feel like doing. And even when I watch stuff like that, I feel these pins and needly things up in the bottom of my feet. And, you know, like the same, similar when you see someone get hurt or something on a video, I kind of have this kind of, my body just wants to retract and just crawl, go away. Don't even look at it. So it's like
that's
really
a normal.
scary.
That's a normal response, though. I mean, think about it. Like if you're at a high place out in the wild, there, you don't want to keep walking off the edge there.
Yeah.
You've got that natural fear response to go, nah, go back the other way.
Yeah.
Keeps you alive.
Yeah. So it would have been normal. Just do one more. Have a chat. I was enjoying the chat. I was going to finish, but let's have a little bit more chat with Elliot.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of your base jumping mates. Like he showed me some videos of these guys that put their bat suits on and they jump off things and they kind of going on these hills that have got these kind of gradual gradients.
Yeah.
And they're fucking flying down like between cliffs and under trees, and it's like absolutely crazy stuff.
Insane.
You know, it is insane. Like
Absolutely insane there.
And
There's
like-
a lot of work that goes into doing those types of jumps there from what I can see and what they tell me.
yeah,
Can't just chuck it on and start doing it because there's a lot of respect to the environment, so like how that impacts that person's flight down there. There's a lot of mental rehearsal as well, so you got to think of it. These guys are athletes and they're just doing the impossible pretty much.
yeah.
I get shit scared watching them.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? They got the drones, or not drones, or but what they call it, the GoPros.
Yeah, 360 cameras.
Yeah, it's amazing footage, and just like they're like birds, aren't they? You get an understanding what would it be like to be a bird, you know?
I guess so. If you get that fine control, but just the margin of error, the consequences can be huge.
Yeah.
Just make one mistake.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah, I've met a few people who've just went a bit too far and then ended up dying. It's a thing that happens. If you go up online, you can see a list of people who every year will die, and it's an inevitable part of the sport, unfortunately. But I guess for some people, that reward is still greater than the risk.
Mm-hmm.
So props to them having the guts to do that. I don't have the guts to go that far.
Yeah.
But at least I can witness it.
Yeah. And is there kind of a personality type with the base jumper that's a bit different to skydivers? Are they a bit another level?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. There's definitely like a blend of because with the systems to learn base jumping, they want people to do at least 200, 300 skydives before you even attempt it.
Oh, really?
So at least you have some sort of experience of how to work a parachute.
Yeah.
But there's still people around the world who somehow manage to buy gear and just find a crane or something to jump off and just do it in their own time.
Really?
There's some cowboys out there.
Yeah.
So they're pretty crazy. It's not regulated in that sense.
Yeah.
It is a community though, so they probably aren't welcome in that community if they don't do it that way.
Yeah.
But in terms of personality types, there it's just I guess it's like people who just I think it's a good idea to walk across a tightrope. Again, why does that make sense to someone?
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Yeah, I think I know this guy. He kind of was a base jumper, and he come in to see me, and he said his parachute didn't open or whatever, or he's stuffed up somehow, and he went down like 3 or 4 stories. It would have been landed on a ledge and had brain damage, and he said that from that on he's had a different personality.
Oh.
Yeah, his personality changed. Yeah, he was a different person. And the other thing he used to have a plank of wood, and he'd be on a cliff, and he had one guy standing on the one end of the plank, and he'd walk out onto the plank. And I'd look at his photos and this sort of stuff, and I'd go, "What are you doing that for? What?" You know what I mean? It's just. Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I guess people you're born with something and you're just drawn towards certain things, and you're just gonna find your way to take advantage of those opportunities if you find them.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Like I find it interesting that I have an element of that, but not to that level.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of nice to have people like that. Yeah, it is kind of crazy what they're doing, but it's kind of nice for the rest of us to be like, all right, you do that crazy thing.
Yeah.
At least I know where I stand.
Yeah. And I think you were talking about hanging up the chute, aren't you? Footballers hang up the boots, you're hanging up the chute. Pretend, not going to be doing it as much, say, in about a year's time.
Maybe.
Talking about it.
Yeah, it's not a definite or anything like that, but it's just sort of like just come across my mind.
Yeah.
Just haven't been doing as much lately. Just because we had a very popular drop zone in Victoria closed down earlier this year.
Yeah.
And so I was like always there, and just if that goes away, it's where else do you go?
Yeah.
So it's not a definite thing, but it's just sort of come across me as well. And I've been in the sport for 8 years as well, so
yeah.
Not to say that I don't like it. It's just there's always new things to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I'll still be in it for another 8 years. I'm just talking shit right now.
Yeah. Get the bug. You got the bug. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah. That's a thing too, right? If you're passionate about something, you can't take for granted that your passion's always going to be there.
Yeah.
There's always ways to fuel it again.
Yeah.
And I've felt this feeling before where I was like, oh, do I still want to do this? With COVID and all that, I thought, am I still going to be a skydiver?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something I want to do? And then I go to an event where we jump for a whole week. I'm like, yeah, I'm still doing this.
Love it.
Yeah. So swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. Look him up. You post a bit on Instagram still, don't you? All your GoPros and that. And, just watch him falling from the sky.
I coach a bit with down at Bowen Heads.
Yeah.
I've got people who learn some stuff off me from stuff that I learned from people before me who taught me. So it's just sort of like passing on the baton, teaching people how to not only just fly but also how to pick a good day to jump down as well, and what things you got to look out for to have a good jump.
Yeah.
So I think that's just like with anything, when you really get into it and then you start getting quite passionate and start sharing that passion with other people and going, they're not where I am, but I can show them where I've been, and if they're interested, they can give it a go too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really profit that.
Yeah, cool. Pass it on.
Yeah, so that's something I noticed that you're quite passionate about as well. Your experiences with not just the work here, but also talking earlier about your food experiences, your relationship with food, and things that you found to be life-changing for you from direct experience.
Yeah.
You're quite passionate about trying to live that, but also share with others too.
Yeah.
How's Nina doing?
She's still in there as far as I know.
Yeah.
So Nina and myself are 2.5 weeks into 4 weeks of a detox plan that I've put together. So yeah, we're gonna probably do a video on it. So yeah, but she's sticking in there. She wants to quit and wants food and different things like that. We're in week 3 with no solid food. We're just having like a litre of vegetable juice a day, along with a bunch of other protocols. We're having to get rid of parasites, heavy metals, and break down stones. Yeah, so it's quite full on for people, but I'm actually enjoying it. I feel like I'm honouring the temple, the body. I'm loving it. I'm worshipping it, not suffering. And when I've got symptoms, whether they're kind of runny nose or I don't get headaches or anything like that, I'm not. That toxicity stuff is not coming out of me, but I kind of I'm reveling in it, and the main thing for me is the emotional kind of challenge that I'm having, like attachment is a source of suffering, so I'm kind of learning about myself and what I'm attached to, the ideas, the foods, the scrolling, those kind of things, and that's where kind of I'm getting a lot of benefit as well, and so you get a lot of time to work yourself out when you do this kind of process, but your body, it's like what I said to Elliot before, you're shutting down the factory. So when the factory is not running, the machines are not making all the parts or whatever they're doing, you can take the machines apart, you can give them a good clean out, if you can think that, change the belts over or whatever you need to do, but all the gunk and grime that's built up over time, you know how that works. Like if you've got, you clean anything, it builds up, so it accumulates slowly over time, so you get a chance to, that's what I'm now essentially doing with my body, giving it a chance to do the deep cleaning that it's put aside because there's always food coming through. That's priority. Got to deal with this. Got to deal with this. I've got stress or whatever. So if you can kind of really stop the calories coming in, and the solid food, the cooked food, the alcohol, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, your body says, thank you. I'm gonna go and clean this now. That's been on my list of things to do for a while. I can get to that because there's not this other stuff that's I have to digest and process and simulate and get around. So yeah, it's a good thing to do. I think I'm really encouraging people to do it. I heard once that detoxification is more important than nourishment. So it's like you cannot, it doesn't matter if you're eating the golden food that's available on the planet, if you cannot absorb it, what's the point?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you can clean the pipes, then the membranes are more clear for the transfer across. So it's
the first time you did it, did you have what meters going to? Were you feeling like you wanted to give up?
Yeah, I just tried to do a 1-day juice fast, which included fruit juices as well. And I suffered so badly. I just struggled like mentally and just physically and everything. But then kind of you got to go through it. And then I tried again. Then I was doing water fast for 40 hours and things like that. And like the more I kind of did it, the more I kind of recognized the symptoms and the feelings and what I was going through and just how I ticked myself, what my habits were and things like that, how I was kind of grabbing for things for the dopamine hits. I kind of worked a lot of that stuff out and I knew that I was going to be all right after I'd experienced it and I was going to feel better. But when you're going through it, you don't know because it's new. And like anybody that tries a detox, they're going to come up against stuff because it's you're paying for the crimes of what you've done to the body, pretty much. So the more crimes you've done, the more stuff there is to clean and come out. It's like the more booze you drink, the more detoxification's got to happen. The worse the hangover is, type of thing. So it's the same with the things that haven't been good for your body. So and everyone's different. What a crime for me is, it's not a crime for you. So we've all got our own journey and all got our own standards, expectations, and value on health. And so if you've got a really high value on health, I encourage you to detox. You will feel so much better for it, and you'll learn a lot about yourself and how things operate, how good you could feel. So we don't know until we know.
Direct experience.
Direct experience, that's the model. We'll call that. That will be the title of this video, direct experience.
Let's go.
Yeah. We might wrap it up there. See how that goes. Oh, it's soft and supple, it's like butter.
Feel that.
Like bloody tofu, Ninja would say. Soft as tofu.
Soft as tofu.
It's vegan. Alright. Sirens are going off, it's a sign. Thanks for watching, guys. Done.